Films, movies, moving pictures. We are all aware of just how far the film industry has come. Take it from the first ever motion picture of 1888 called Round Hay Garden Scene, a short film directed by Louis the Prince, which according to the Guinness Book of Records is in fact the oldest surviving film in existence with just 2.11 seconds of footage. Fast forward over a century and you have more box office hits with the likes of Titanic, Avatar, Frozen, and more recently of course, Avengers Endgame. That's not to say that there hasn't been a few blunders in the film industry in that time. Pandemic, shock and terror, and food fights have both been proof of that and rightfully deserve their own review in future videos. These were films. These were films! I feel like I can't express this enough. One of them had a fucking $65 million budget and they still managed to blow it all to hell with cheap animation and horribly made characters. Again though, that's another video. Today I wanted to focus on a film that not many people are aware of. In fact, not a lot of people on YouTube have in fact reviewed it. This is a film by the name of Metropia, and it's directed by a Swedish television producer called Tarik Seller. I think that's how you say it, I might be butchering it. Released during the end of 2009. The film was made with a budget of 34 million krona, but made just under the budget in the box office with 32 million. Damn, that's got a steam for you there, old Tarik, my guy. I am going to cover the basic tropes of the film, key points in it, and what my final thoughts are. Disclaimer, I am not by any means a movie critic that knows what he's talking about, but I thought we'd try something new to the channel, considering that, you know, we're all in quarantine. Oh, and also, spoiler warning. So here we have it. This is Metropia. So the film is set during the year of 2024 around Europe, where at the beginning of the movie, it is quite clear to see that everywhere seems empty, almost like no one actually lives here. Just a lifeless husk, nothing in sight, abandoned. If you're thinking that way now, then you turn out to be just as wrong as I was, because within this giant wasteland that is supposedly meant to be Stockholm in Sweden, lies a city full of people just trying to live out a normal life for themselves. But as we go further into the film, we find out that this life is anything but normal. The main plot of the film is focused on a man by the name of Roger Olofsson, who is voiced by Vincent Gallo. The world is losing its supply of oil. Any form of automobile is seen as no longer practical, unless if you journey via a train. More on that later. It has become so bad that during the first few minutes, we find out that even riding a bicycle is illegal in this day and age. But surprise surprise, Roger is the one that rides a bicycle to his work at a telephone center. Oh wow, what a mad lad, calm down there matey boy. But of course, most films need a protagonist that has some crappy job that depresses them. Because, you know, movie logic. Roger appears as a very skeptic individual, superstitious that everything and everyone is plotting against him as he talks to his supposed girlfriend Anna, voiced by Sophia Helen. He is very wary of a train network that is ran by an all-powerful company called Trex and runs all around Europe. Remember this name, Trex, is going to be very important to the plot. The next morning, now stick with me on this, there are two reasons as to why this product, Dank Shampoo, is critical. One, as weird as it sounds, trust me, it's a good plot point, and two, Roger supposedly uses it on his body and not his big bald head. Even then, you haven't got any hair to fucking wash, look at the size of it. During this point in the film, Roger starts to hear a voice inside his head during the night. This is also a reoccurrence if Roger gets too close to the underground train network. I wonder why that is. At some point, he notices a woman that looks strangely familiar, and the voice repeatedly tells him to pretty much don't follow her, just go to work, and everything will be fine. But of course, we need movie plot, and Roger decides to, admittedly in a creepy way, follow said woman. After being confronted by the woman, who obviously notices the big bald-headed bastard following her around the whole damn train network, look at the size of it, he finds out the woman is actually a former spokesperson and model from the Danks commercial. Her name is Nina, voiced by Juliette Lewis, and what does she tell him? A voice in your head is talking to you. It doesn't belong to you. I know where it's coming from. Instantly, the voice in Roger's head tells him to deny! Oh wow, I wonder why that is! LA Noir gang, where my doubters at? Further into the film, both of these characters run into each other again, but this time at a very important announcement from a very important company, led by Ivan Barn, voiced by Udo Kier. What is its name? Trex. Ivan demonstrates what Dank Shampoo is capable of becoming. He uses a man in a cowboy hat, and then drinks what he believes to be acrid, rancid, even undrinkable. He then mentions a voice telling him to drink. It's good, but not his own voice. Freaky shit, man. Nina then points out that in the wrong hands, this shampoo could be used for very evil intentions, as she uses the example of a girl being manipulated under her own will. She and Roger leave the building, and we leave the scene with Nina asking Roger one question only. So, you think you can handle the truth? The voice then tries to reconnect with Roger, having only found out that he is with Nina. He tries to tell him that Nina is a virus and is not who she says she is. He now tells Roger, "My name is Stefan. I'm your inner voice and your life is in danger." Stefan is voiced by Alexander Skarsgård, for those who are wondering. They then arrange to meet up, after overhearing Nina speaking on the phone to someone saying, "I thought you were going to deal with him." He's offered to meet up. The main point of the meeting basically ended with Stefan asking Roger, "Don't you find it funny that she hasn't told you who she even is?" A very interesting question. At no point prior to this moment has she even mentioned who she really is, plus the phone call from earlier? I don't know. Something seems fishy about her now. After a good old cheating on your girl with one who seems very suspicious scene, Nina tells Roger about a device called a flux compression generator, which pretty much works like an electromagnetic pulse, more commonly known by any first-person shooter video game player as an EMP, which he plans to use on the Invoice headquarters, therefore shutting everything down. Whilst that is happening, Stefan is then confronted by a big intimidating brute known as Ralph Parker, voiced by Stellan Skarsgård, who is Ivan Barnes' right-hand man pretty much. He is told that Stefan has done a big oopsie in losing control over Roger. Naughty boy, Stefan. Naughty boy. Stefan comes clean and tells the big boy that he did meet up with Roger, telling him to go back home, and after a few cliches of "I'm going to kill you but I'm going to give you the idea that I am not" movie trope, Ralph decides to push poor Stefan into an incoming train, obliterating him with Nina watching on the sidelines. That's what you get when you go out past your bedtime, Stefan. And for pretty much going behind one of the most powerful traffic corporations in the world, leading to a large man with a huge bulge patch like my dad has to come and give you a little bit of a friendly shove. Once Nina and Roger decide to get the fuck out of Dodge, Nina hands Roger the key card belonging to Stefan, which should, in theory, allow him to go inside. Because they look alike. Do you get the joke yet? And the plan is set. Step 1. Get to Stefan's working desk. Step 2. Inside the bag you find a Hello Kitty doll. I wonder whether they got a copyright claim for using their product. Step 3. Push the belly button. That will activate the EMP. Step 4. Find a bathroom, look around, and watch the madness unfold. As he gets to the desk, he overhears a conversation between Ivan and the other pricks from the announcement earlier on in the film. He finds out that Dunk shampoo in fact contains organic goddamn microchips that embedded deep into the subject's skull and read their fucking minds and control them. It was a pretty easy plan, right? Yeah, actually, it wasn't too bad. Wrong! Ivan eventually clocks on to the amazing disguise by Roger, who then runs off to the nearest bathroom. Initiate chasing scene! Guns, running, falling, lights, cars being run over by the train, and blood splattering everywhere! Yeah! Wait, what? What rating was this film again? Yeah, nah, fair enough. Back at the desks, Ivan finds that this EMP isn't really an EMP, but more of a devastating fucking bomb that literally melts his face, Raiders of the Lost Ark style. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for taking down a higher power that controls people, but using the weapon of mass destruction instead of business chaos because of a power outage? There's a fine line between them, Nina. Was Nina trying to kill Roger off also? He then finds the nearest train and hops on. Wouldn't you know it, Nina's there too, on the phone to someone, just like before Stefan and Roger had that meeting, and he hides from out of sight. Do you know what? I don't have any more puns or references here. Guess who else comes on the train? Ralph fucking Baldpatch Parker, who then snogs Nina. Well, there goes your chances, Roger. I'm sorry to say. I would have loved some of that too, but oh well. His girlfriend Anna decides to call him, and Nina recognizes the ringtone, thus triggering Ralph's murder mode. He goes to the opposite side of the train car, and then BOOM! It's a double... triple...
Excuse me, what?
Nina kills Ralph and then tells Roger to get off at the next stop like a security guard who finds out you didn't pay for a train ticket. Who the fuck do you think you are? You even inherited the goddamn company. But wait a minute, was that the main goal all this time? It wasn't just to take down the corporation, but take it as your own? The fuck sort of dirty trick was that? I'm truly pissed off from that. What the fuck? Anyways, Roger decides to make his way back home and see his beloved Anna, who is obviously unhappy considering her lover has been away for pretty much the entire film. They make amends and love and watch over Stockholm together, watching as the sky clears up and the sun comes out for the first time in what may have been an eternity. I can definitely see where this film was going in the end, but I didn't expect it to feel so quick? Yeah, the ending to this movie was anything but normal, but then again, I didn't expect much from a film that also was anything but normal. The ending didn't necessarily ruin the experience of a true ending, however, it felt quite rushed, it didn't seem to flow, it kinda was all over the place. I'm not saying that the film wasn't good, because it actually was one of the more better obscure films that I had ever seen before. The art style of the characters was very unique, with the big heads and bulging eyes and incredibly small bodies in comparison. In fact, most of the senses that the film gives out is near on entrancing. It's not all the time that I see a film that is almost entirely covered in dull colours, almost to the point of being a black and white picture, and the darkest points of the film almost making it unseeable. Most of the time, dark pictures would cause a great annoyance in me, but for Metropia, it kinda worked. It set the tone for the film, it didn't make it seem very joyful, it made it feel very tense, and at this future with Trex controlling everything we physically do, the idea of it is unnerving to say the least. The music also is just wow. Well done to the composers who made the soundtrack. Again, I use the word entrancing. Not only did the music set the tone for the film accompanying the picture and art style, but it made every emotion of every scene work. Confrontation, loneliness, depression, hope, it's almost a perfectly done concept. The acting, given for what it is, was very professional. You wouldn't even be able to tell that this film wasn't well known, with Vincent Gallo playing the suspicious and skeptic Roger in a great way, and Juliette Lewis playing the just as suspicious yet alluring Nina, or even Udo Kier playing the twisted egomaniac Ivan Bond. All the actors in this film played their parts really well. It's a very interesting idea, and it's a shame that it made only 2 million kroner less than the budget was, because I would really love to see this idea taken further even. What does Nina plan to do with Trex now that they practically have to start the company all over again? Will her intentions be any more clearer, or would she remain just as mysterious and yet so mistrustful? What about Roger and Anna, the future of their relationship, now that things seem to go back to normal since there are no more voices in their heads? These questions could be answered, but unfortunately we may not be able to get what we want. But for what the film is, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and I definitely enjoyed writing the script for this review. And since we are all in lockdown, I feel like now is a good time to maybe start a film review series. If Metropia has told me anything, it would be to never listen to the voice inside your head. Always trust your gut, but you gotta keep your wits about you, because if you don't, you may end up on the wrong path in your life. Take opportunities, keep yourself in control of your own actions, but most of all, never lose sight on things, because that may prove the difference between living life to the fullest, or living life stuck under someone else's standards. Out of 10, I'd give this film a solid 7.5 out of 10. The only reason I'm not giving it higher than an 8 is purely because of how rushed the ending felt, but everything else was awesome. Well done to Tadek for creating such an interesting concept. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do various pieces of content on this channel, and make sure to share with your friends also. Let me know if there's any more films that you want me to review, and put it down in the comments, and I'll see if I can tackle them. See which one comes up next. That being said, I'll see you all in the next video. See you, everybody!